Hi, good evening. It's Ellen Lewis, and welcome to my podcast, Crazy for You. And tonight I am coming to you live from my closet. So it's a little different this week, but in the newsletter, I talked a lot about choosing garments to knit based on what we like to wear. And I wanted to kind of take you inside and see how that actually works. We've been talking a lot about garments that fit your body and getting them to, to be long enough, to be big enough, to be small enough, whatever, to be the right length. But as I said in the newsletter, it's about so much more than just the fit. They have to not only fit your body, but suit your personal style. Do you know what I mean? So what I talked about in the newsletter is how to kind of figure out what is going to suit your personal style. You know, we already know mostly what we like to wear. And as I said, you're going to find that in your hamper. You know, the clothes that you like to wear the most are the ones that are always dirty. They're always getting washed or going to the dry cleaners or whatever. So that's the place to start. And what I wanted to do tonight, and I hope this is going to be fun and not too strange, was just to sort of take you through my process of, looking at what's in my wardrobe that I absolutely love to wear, and how I've tried to translate that into garments that I love to knit, that I love to wear. So yeah, it's kind of fun. And I'll tell you right now that the setup in here is that I have a laptop over there, so it's harder for me to see the comments. So I'm going to go ahead and go through this, and then I'll look at the comments. But please do comment if there's a question that you have or something that you'd like me to talk about or address this evening. I'm happy to do that. It's live, so we'll do whatever. But anyway, thank you for joining me for this, what I hope is a really fun and kind of informative example of how to figure out, based on what you already know you love, you're going to love to knit that will look good on you, right? Because that's the key. We want to make things that we know we're going to love. We're going to love to wear, and they're going to work into our wardrobe, and they're going to reflect our personal style. So let me check the comments real quick. All right. Hey, Sandy. Hi, Gwen. Okay, so it's blurry, huh? Oh, my goodness. Blurry, huh? Really? Blurry. Oh, my goodness. That's not good. This is on autofocus. Okay. So is it blurry for everybody? Hi, Kathy. Okay, so I pulled a few things. I just went through my closet and I kind of looked at, like, let's say I have to pick my top 5 or 10 things that I like to wear, just in terms of like simple garments. So I love this. This is just a really simple, I know it's hard to tell because it's black, but I do love to wear black. So this is just a simple ribbed sweater. It's a cotton knit. It's a V-neck, and I love it. I wear it all the time. I wear it in the winter. I wear it in the summer. So what do I love about this? I love that it's ribbed. I love the way that ribbing kind of keeps it smooth. I love that it fits close to my body, and I love this V-neck. I will tell you that I have probably 5 other sweaters that are nearly identical to this, that have a scoop, not a scoop neck, but like a jewel neck. I never, ever, ever wear them. It's because I don't like that neckline. So that was a huge, there was a huge eye opener for me, is that I shouldn't wear this neckline because this sweater is never dirty. I never wear it. I probably should do a major Marie Kondo on it and just throw it in the trash because I never wear it. It doesn't look right. So this sweater became this sweater, which is one that I knit. It's also black. It's also got a V-neck. It's got 3/4 sleeves, and it fits kind of close. So I love this. So that's kind of one way that I turned a look that I really, really liked, that was kind of part of my personal style, into a sweater that I knit. Do you see what I'm saying? So have you ever done that? Have you ever had a garment that you really loved in your closet and knit something that was kind of just like it? Or I don't know about you, but when I see something that I like, if it's available in 10 different colors, I'll probably buy half of those colors just because I want to have them. So let me know in the comments if that's something that you do. Let me check the comments too. All right. Yes, blurry. Huh. Oh my goodness. Well, this is not good. Hang on. Okay, sorry. I hope that's better. Tell me if that's a little better in the comments. All right. So, okay. So what other things? Like, so from my personal wardrobe, I love things that are sort of drapey. I love things that are sleeveless. I love this drape neck front. So that's kind of a, it's kind of a look. And it's one of those things you think, oh, I can't really get that in a sweater, but you absolutely can. So this is a sweater that has that same kind of drape neck. It's a very similar shape, but it's not exact. Obviously, a garment that's made from a woven fabric is going to be different than something that's made from knit. But the idea is that it is also sleeveless and it has that kind of a drape front. Is this helping at all? And is it less blurry now? Okay, so Jana says that when she finds something she likes, she buys it in every color. Yeah, that was what my mom always did. She had, probably 10 pairs of shoes in exactly the same style and different colors. So that was kind of fun. So another look that I like is this with the high neck. So that's kind of a look, with this little bit of a stand-up collar. You can see that I'm wearing it now. And I knit this. So this has that same kind of little stand-up collar and the cutaway sleeve. But honestly, I don't know that I was doing this particularly consciously, because it probably was just as likely that I would be knitting something that turned out really badly. And I can show you lots and lots of examples of those on my Ravelry page. But over the years, I've probably knit, more than 100 sweaters, and I don't have that many anymore. I've given them away or thrown them away or, whatever, gotten rid of them. But there are a few that I've kept that were really poor decisions on my part. And I'll share a couple of those with you. So first is this one. So very heavily cabled sweater, raglan sleeve. It is a great color, but in sort of going through this process of trying to figure out what I do and don't like and what kinds of decisions I might want to make better in the future, what I've discovered is I don't like this neckline, this kind of jewel neckline. Um, I don't like things that feel stiff. Um, I'll show you the rest of the garments that I pulled, but I tend to like things that are drapey and floaty, unless they're kind of really close fitting. But this feels really stiff and heavy. And I'm not a fan of raglans on me. And this is all of those things. Why did I knit it? This is that concept that I was talking about in the newsletter about knitting something that's aspirational. You see it on a person in the magazine and it looks so good. I remember I knit that in the 80s. And it looks so good on the model, and she was wearing it with, it's a very Chanel look with all these gold chains and a white blouse, and it just looked really, really sharp on her. And yeah, it just didn't look like that on me, and it made me uncomfortable. So, like I said, I've knit lots and lots of things over the years that don't work for me, and I've had to recently kind of go through this process of, what do I like? And honestly, the catalyst for it was this sweater that I bought. So this is just a great big oversized V-neck sweater. See how kind of oversized it is with with the drop shoulder. And I love this. So I started really kind of thinking about and evaluating what it was about this particular sweater that I liked so much. So I love the length of it. It comes down over my rear end, and it's just a very, very easy fit. It's not at all stiff. It has that nice deep V-neck, and it just makes me feel so happy and comfortable. The clothes that you pull for yourself, that you reach for time and time again from your closet, those are the ones that when you put them on, they make you feel like you. They don't make you feel like a different person, or you're not trying to be something you're not. The clothes that you love and that really suit your personal style are the ones that you just feel like yourself in. You just feel really, really comfortable. So I started thinking about this sweater every time I approached, a knitting pattern. And we did this knit along earlier this year on this sweater, and I love it. So again, it's a big, oversized, very comfy V-neck sweater, and I love it. And another thing that I found out was I like these bell sleeves. This was a big discussion when we were doing the knit along was, were you going to do the bell sleeves, or were you going to do tapered sleeves, or how were you going to have those sleeves? Because a bell sleeve is definitely not the most practical cuff line for anyone if you have a life. It definitely isn't something that you're going to be cooking bacon in. But I really do love it. And I went back to my closet again, and I realized I have all these sweaters, all these blouses with, these bell sleeves. And then I started looking at other sweaters that I knit, and the ones that have sort of stayed around and been with me consistently, like this February lady. I knit this a million years ago. Bell sleeves. This version of Emma. Bell sleeves. Same with this second version of Emma. Bell sleeves. So, it's funny how you kind of come to figure out what it is that you like. So if I see an oversized sweater with a V-neck and kind of a bell sleeve, I can say with great assurance that I could knit that and I would be really happy with it. And if I saw one of those very cute little buttoned up crew neck cardigans, I can tell you with great assurance that I would hate it. As much fun as it would be to knit and as cute as it looks on the mannequin or the model, I know it would be wrong for me. So I would be interested. Tell me in the comments if you know of a particular style or shape or whatever that you love, that works for you every time, that you can sort of design in your head, or if there's a style that you know really doesn't work for you, that you kind of really hate and that you but you're drawn to anyway. I think that's always interesting because a lot of times there are styles that are really cute, and that we always say, oh, I love that, I'd love to knit that, but you know, in our heart of hearts, we know that they wouldn't work for us. So let me check the comments again. Okay. I need to wear scoop or V-neck sweater tops because of a larger bust. Yeah. So yeah, I think, and I do think that certain body shapes and body types. Kathy just said that she needs to wear a V-neck or a scoop neck because she has a larger bust. That is totally a thing. I think a lot of women with a larger bust kind of feel that way. And if you're comfortable in that, that is absolutely great. But I definitely want you to think in terms of like what you have and what you wear that really does make you feel great, not what somebody says, well, you should wear that because you have this or whatever. And you know, honestly, sometimes the difference between a sweater that you absolutely love and a sweater that you never wear can be something really, really tiny. I want to show you this. So I have these two shirts. I don't wear t-shirts at all. I will tell you that I just don't wear t-shirts because again, it's that t-shirt neckline that I don't like. But I found this at J. Crew, and it's a scoop neck and it has a little bit longer sleeve. So I bought this in black and I bought it in white. And then I saw this one and I thought it would be great because I love animal print. And this is this cute little leopard print. I put it on and I just didn't love it. And I don't wear it. The difference is the sleeve length. I mean, they're cut almost identically everywhere else, but this has a 2-inch sleeve, whereas this one has a 4-inch sleeve. So the tiny details between, like I said, something that you absolutely love and you reach for all the time and something that when you put it on, you're just like, this is not quite right. It's those little things. Has anybody done this? Has anybody kind of gone into their closet and pulled out the garments that you really love and try to kind of extrapolate what maybe your personal style is telling you about what you might want to knit? I pulled a couple other things to show you. Again, there's this floaty sleeve thing. I like this little tank. It's a little bit of a scoop neck, very simple, very plain. And you can create it, recreate that in knit. I can't tell you how many things that I have knit that are just not right. Not right for me. I don't know why I knit them. I do know why I knit them. We often knit things because they look like they'd be fun to knit, and they don't necessarily reflect things that are terrific for us to wear. And sometimes like for me, I like to wear boring clothes. I wear boring clothes, mostly stockinette. I don't like a lot of fussy. I mean, you can't see my whole closet here, but it's pretty much all solids. So boring clothes mean that if you like to wear boring clothes, that means the sweaters that you're going to knit are probably going to be really simple in structure. So that tends to be a little bit boring to knit. But you can do some other things. So this is one of my favorite sweaters that I ever knit of all time. This is by Shelly Anderson. It's called Tuva. And I love everything about it because it reminds me so much of that sweater that I bought that I love. It's a basic V-neck, long sleeves, oversized. But what Shelly Anderson did is she put a little bit of kind of an interesting trim on this. And it's got a split hem, and that made it a little more interesting to knit. But you have to know for yourself, are you willing to knit the boring fabric in order to create a hand knit wardrobe, or is that not why you knit? You know, so I think that's kind of an interesting question to consider. And there's no wrong answer. You know, plenty of people really enjoy knitting because it challenges their brain and they like complicated lace things and whatnot. And that's totally okay. But if you're a garment knitter, you want to make sure that the fabrics that you're creating and the garments that you're knitting are garments that you want to wear yourself. So again, that white blouse that I showed you with the V-neck, with the V-neck and the floaty sleeves, right? Here's kind of a knit version. Again, this is by Shelly Anderson. It's a V-neck with a floaty sleeves. So I hope that gives you a little bit of a sense of, you know, how to go about kind of looking at the things in your wardrobe and seeing how that would translate into choices that you make about sweaters that you're going to cast on. Let me check the comments real quick. All right, so Beverly says just add lace for the longer sleeves. Well, that's a really good idea. We could do that. We could maybe put something on that. And Barbara says hi. So anyway, I'm hearing from you guys that this is a little bit blurry, and I feel kind of bad about that. But did you have any questions, or did you want to chat at all about, you know, any specific things that you like to wear, and maybe how you could recreate those or translate those into garments that you might want to knit? So, you know, do you wear turtlenecks? Turtlenecks are such a great thing, but if you don't love them, you know, then you shouldn't knit them, obviously. Have you ever knit a turtleneck? I have knit lots of turtlenecks and I love them so much. Anyway, this is this is so silly to be in here, but I think also you kind of want to think about fabrics that you like to wear. Like, I like things that are kind of, like I said, fine and drapey, and that means that you're going to be knitting a bit of a fine fabric. So a lot of times the fabric that you knit, it's hard to get it really light. Because you know, you're using a finer yarn and that takes more time. But you can still get sort of that oversized look. Let me show you one of my favorites. This is the Easy Bulky one by Joji Locatelli. Again, this is one of those big oversized sweaters that comes down. I like it. I made it longer, so it comes down over my rear end. And I like it because it has a little bit of a stand-up collar. It's not just a crew neck. So I love this. Again, that's just a drop-shouldered sweater that is really nice to wear. And honestly, when I wear this, I usually wear a black turtleneck under it to give me that little bit of a turtleneck look. So anyway, that's kind of a fun thing. Let's see, what else can I share with you? Let's see. Tanks you knit. How do you recreate item styles? How do you recreate item styles from your? Okay, so when you're in your closet and you're looking at the things that you love to wear, kind of analyze what it is about those garments that you love. So, like I said, with that, with this one. You know, I know that I love this drape neck, and I know that I love sleeveless. So I have a whole lot of sleeveless kinds of sweaters. So when you're looking at patterns, you know, if you know that you're looking for something with a little bit of a drape neck or sleeveless, and it's easy enough to convert something with a drape neck that has sleeves to something that's sleeveless. That's easy enough to do. But you're going to be looking for aspects of it, like what is the neckline? What is the fit? So we talk about ease an awful lot when we're talking about measurements and fit. So something like this sweater that I'm talking about here, this has a lot of ease. So I can say I like oversized sweaters. I like sweaters that, that are really kind of big. I do like this drop shoulder, but you can see it's a shaped drop shoulder. So being able to kind of identify the elements of the clothes that you love to wear, then you can look for those elements in a hand knit pattern. This is a sweater, but it doesn't have to be a sweater. It can be a blouse. Like I said, the blouses that I like all have kind of this poet cuff, a little bit of a bell cuff. So that's an element that I like that I've tried to recreate in some of the sweaters because I like things that are sort of floaty and romantic. I've also found that I really like that fabric that's a little bit fuzzy. If you don't care for fuzzy kinds of fabrics, if every time you put them on you feel hot or just uncomfortable, then you would be looking for a different kind of yarn to knit with. You wouldn't want that sweater that's fuzzy or a strand of mohair with it. I personally love that, but again, that's my aesthetic. It's not everybody's. Lots of people. So Ginny Stein at the shop, I know you guys know Ginny. She and I talk about this all the time. She's also very tall, but her personal style is very, very tailored. And she wouldn't ever wear something with floaty bell sleeves. I think she'd die before she'd wear something with floaty bell sleeves. She'd feel ridiculous. And she looks so good in those beautiful tailored blouses, very crisp kind of blouses and, long, narrow vests. She looks wonderful in that. And I feel like I'm in a straitjacket when I wear that. So, sometimes it's a matter of going to the store and just trying on things that you think you might like and seeing how big are they? What is the shoulder line like? How do you like that? Where does it hit you? The sweaters or the blouses or the jackets or whatever that you have in your wardrobe that you absolutely love, analyzing them, every aspect of them. How much ease is there in the body? How long is the sleeve? Where does it hit you on your body? What is the neckline like? What kind of fabric do you prefer? Do you prefer things that are drapey, or do you prefer things that are more structured and crisp? If you're knitting a garment and you prefer things, as I do, that are drapey, you're going to be looking for fabrics like stockinette, which tends to be much more drapey than something like that sweater that I showed you to start that's full of cables. Cables and seed stitch and ribbing tend to give you a great deal of structure in your garment. So if you're not a fan of structure, you want to stay away from sweaters with a whole lot of that kind of patterning over the body. That's not to say that you can't ever use an all over stitch pattern. So this is the No Plain Jane sweater, also one of my favorites because it's nice and long. It has a, kind of a deep V neck, long sleeves, and this is a double moss stitch. But it's still kind of drapey. Not anything like that cabled sweater from my youth. All right, I see we have another comment, so let me get to this. All right, so yes, the tanks are light. These are worked in a fine yarn. So this is really light. This is worked in a fingering weight. This is actually silk, but the original pattern called for a fingering weight cotton. So yeah, they are really nice and light to wear. And the thing that's nice about summer garments is that they don't take a lot of time to knit because there's not very much of a sleeve. So you don't have to worry too much about that. Anyway, this was fun for me. I hope it was fun for you. A little stressful because the camera's not quite right. I'm not in my regular spot. And, and it's very personal. So thank you for your kindness and for your patience. And we'll continue to talk about, how to make sure that you love the garments that you knit going forward. But I thought this was maybe just a nice way to sort of see how you can go into your own closet and pull the things that you like and really sort of look at what it is about them that makes you love them, and keep that information in your head or written down so that when you're looking to knit a sweater or you see something in a pattern book, you can sort of do a mental inventory of, well, is this, in keeping with the things I love to wear, or is this going to be one of those things that I knit and try to find somebody to give it to, which is not what we want. So, all right. Thank you guys so much for joining me this evening. It's been a pleasure, and I will see you soon. Thanks again. Good night.